Approximately 10% of Stan's sales are from his value-added products. Even though it's a small part of his marketing strategy, it's necessary in the long run.
Drawing upon my past history and thinking back to my dad's days in the apple business, there'd be years when the market was good and we wouldn't have enough apples, but the price was high. And then there'd be other years when the price was low, but we'd have too many apples. But he'd always be stuck with these apples. And you had, 2 months to get rid of these apples. So I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to find some way to not rely on that 6-week period. Jam, syrup, some type of value-added situation. Some way to use those berries if I didn't sell them. In other words, if I went to the farmer's market and I brought back 50 pounds, what was I going to do with them? Again, our philosophy is we're selling fresh berries. Well, I could put them back in the cooler and sell them next week, but then again, I'm not doing what I say I want to do. So what we do is we throw them in the freezer and we freeze them. And then in this fall and spring and winter, when we're kind of bored, we make jam and syrup and vinegar, and we added a vinaigrette this year. We're always looking for a little new product. Actually, people tell us, why don't you do this, or give us a recipe. So we felt that it was very important for 2 reasons. One, to keep our product fresh on the market and have something to do with the berries that we don't use. Unfortunately, the problem I have now is I can sell all my berries fresh. Yet I know at some point I need that value-added product. I need to be able to sell jam. I need that area to sell my berries.
Are these locally here?
Up by Sandpoint, yeah. If I have, say, 1,000 units of jam and syrup, that will take me through the farmers markets. I have a couple of fruit stands and small stores that carry my product, but mainly my sales of my jams and my syrups are through the farmers markets and through gift packs. And so that I don't really want to get into the big deal of supplying a lot of stores, because I don't want to work year-round. I mean, that's part of why we're doing what we do, right? But there's a whole different can of worms when you get into that. First of all, where are you going to make this stuff at? You're not allowed, it's against the law just to make it in your kitchen and sell it. You need a legal commercial kitchen. We're lucky here in Bonner County. There's a commercial kitchen in Sandpoint that you can rent the kitchen. I'm even luckier yet. I have a friend that owns a local cafe, so he allows me to use his kitchen. And it cost me a few jars of jam and syrup. So I'm even luckier yet. So I have a place to make it, but that's your that's your biggest problem. Where are you going to make this at? The next thing is you need jars, and you can't just go down to the hardware store and buy canning jars. You need, again, if you're going to sell a jam or a syrup or a vinegar or some type of product at that level, it has to look professional. It has to look like the stuff in the store. But it's fairly expensive, and you have to look at, you have to break down your cost and make sure that, how much is that jar of jam costing me, to make, and is it worth it to do that, and then how much can I charge for it?
Stan pays close attention to food safety and product quality when making value-added products. Also, a little creativity helps turn lemons into lemonade, or in Stan's case, jam into topping.
One of the larger problems of making jam, we'll use jam as the example here, whether it be syrup or vinegar, whatever your product is quality control. Again, like my berries, I want to put out a good product. I rely on people buying my product and buying it again and telling their friends. The berries are easy. They're growing on a bush. We pick them, we put them in a basket, and we sell them. If they're green or they're soft, they're not any good. But jam, you cook it, you bottle it, the sweetness. So you've got to do some things, and you've got to do them the right way. You've got to have a refractometer to check your sugar content of your berries. Every type of berry that you use has a little bit different sugar content. My recipe is very simple. I can't tell you what it is, but it's a very simple recipe. So it's easy to follow, and as long as I do everything right every time, it's usually pretty. It's pretty good. But we've had some jams that didn't gel. Well, now I've got 300 jars of jam. Well, now it's not jam anymore. Now it's topping.
An eye-catching label is essential to attract customers. Certain label information is required when selling food products, including the farm name, address, and a list of ingredients. Other information you may want to include on the label is the price and nutritional value.